Well, hello everybody. This is another session of grown man playing with trains. And what I want to do is show you an addition that I've just made. I've added another yard here. Here we are looking, pay no attention to that junk on the side there. I've added another yard here to the main line. Here, coming off the main line here and going down slope. Matter of fact, I've added a whole new section to the table here, which is what this is, going down into another yard. So this would be the third yard on the layout. In fact, Andrew Street there, as you may recognize my times past, is being extended as a bridge over the yard itself. I'm still working on that, just got to fix it up, weather and all that kind of stuff. But that's Andrew Street, and it's extended. I started this a little week ago, and I've got 6 tracks in there. I'm actually going to add a couple of more, well, one more in this direction for engine maintenance, and then bring another one back this way for car maintenance, of course, after I clean it all up. What I did was, of course, when I began to create this, I took styrofoam, which I have an abundance of, and began to make the slopes, then covering those slopes up with plaster sheets, and then afterwards paper mache, let it dry. This, even the top section is not quite dry yet, but I went on ahead and painted it anyway, and used twigs, along with toothpicks to put some more trees in there. And so when the train comes off the main line, which it will do, it will go down the slope. Now, again, this is not a hump yard. It's just a slope. I didn't design this to be a hump yard. And again, go down and classify onto the tracks here. The reason why I started a third yard is because I always like to have destiny where the trains are going. I don't just like to just take it out of the yard, run it around a few times, take it back into the same yard. I like to have it go to another yard. So at least there's a sense of destiny. It's going from point A to point B. Now, the very fact that I've got 3 yards here, that's the new one. I'm going to name this one after my son, Clayton Yard. You'll note that I name everything after my family. For example, Bradwell, the grain elevator there is the name of my town, Bradwell, which stands for Bradley and Wells. That's me and Cassandra's names. Here I have another little small yard here around. I named after my daughter, Nelton. She's Danielle, so Nelton Yard. There's an unfinished church there I'm still working on, an unfinished house over there I'm still working on that. And then, of course, you go around, and actually this little small yard, Nelton, through a spur goes over to the hump yard, which is over across the way there. We'll deal with that in a few seconds. But this is where I am. I've been working on it. I'll give you a view of what this looks like. I'm actually going to have to raise the street there because the intermodal is going to have trouble getting through. So I'm going to raise that street, have it, hump over the yard. Of course, you come down the tracks there, down the tracks, and into the yard itself. This portion here is still drying. I should let it dry at least till the weekend. I probably get over anxious and start painting anyway, like I did this one. Again, this was all white with the material, the styrofoam and all that kind of stuff. And it actually extended from the original table, which is the end of the table. But again, there was no place else to put another yard, so I had to extend it, much to my wife's chagrin. She said, what was the word she used? Overextending or something like that. She said, I can't remember what she said. She kind of got on my case. Now, well, here's the interesting thing about my wife. Whenever she goes to the thrift shops, she sees something in HO, she'll pick it up for me. And she got this for me. Trussels, Tyco trussel set, bridge and trussel set. Now, you know what? There was not really any use I had for it because I had no elevations. However, those trussels came in quite handy in helping me with the elevation. So there are actually trussels underneath there. So it'll give it a good elevation. And then underneath the street, there are the bridge trussels. I don't know if you can see them there. Yeah, there's another one over there, which I'm using to hold the Andrew Street up on the bridge. So I've been working here. I'm going to wire it too, of course, because there's no electricity in the yard yet because I put it in here. If you can see it there. Yeah, those insulated joints there. So there's no electricity. It stops right there from the main line because, again, I don't want to have troubles with main line and yard running simultaneously when they should. Uh, Here is an overall, and I'm going to go over to the hump yard in a second here, but here is an overall view of my layout. It's nice size for the room that I have. This is the basement of our home, which would have been a den, except I claimed it and turned it into something else. As you can see, turned it into the train room. And I'm going to get a little close to the hump yard in just a second here. But I made it my point to keep this railroad simple. I thought about doing a double loop, you know, the lower and then have it loop around again on an elevated level. But then I thought, keep it simple. However, what I endeavor to do is every place the train goes, it's in a new environment. It's in a new, so it's not just running around in a circle. It's got, over there you see the coaling facility. We're going to work on that some more, but that's where I'm storing the coal cars, the coal hoppers. Like I say, the hump yard there. Here we come through the town. The town, we've got a post office here, which is what that is. Where you can see that post office. Down Andrew Street, I've got City Hall. I've got some other things. Then you go into the industrial area over here with the grain elevator. This area actually was modeled after a place I knew in the city of Chicago. I see how they run it. So I kind of looked at it, kept a mental picture. We're storing tank cars over there as well. And as we go around, of course, and again, I'm going to go over that in a second, that rust-colored building there is something I named for my granddaughter. Let's see. LJKB, Leah Janae Kenya Works, a warehouse is what it is basically. And I'm going to name something else for my other granddaughter. But again, this is Andrew Street over by LGKB, Leah Janae Kenya Bradley Works, is Arlene Street, named after my mother. So I'm doing a little here, a little there, and trying to get this thing together. Okay, let's go around here. Now again, my duck under is here. Here I have my chair. Let me see if I can get in there. That's my chair that I get in and duck under and go through a tunnel. Eventually I'm going to have all this drywall. So it won't be open like this. I want the drywall be out of the edges. And I scoop through here. Excuse all the junk that I've been working on this. I mean to clean this up one of these days, I suppose, all the sawdust, because I've really been working this week on this. I got a little workbench here that I built, which is a part of the layout, so I built that there. And here is Rev Scott Hump Yard. You've probably seen this before if you keep up with my thing here. Rev Scott Hump Yard. In fact, let's turn on some lights here. You better see. Yeah, there we go. Let's turn on some lights there. And some lights here. The main line, of course, is back in the back there. This is where I come in and when I break down trains. And like I say, this is one, there's another. So trains that will put together trains in this yard and take them to the main. They'll run on the main and then they'll go someplace else. They just won't come right back here. So I've got an option of taking them to Nelton or to Clayton Yard. Again, it's giving me a sense of destiny. We're going someplace, And again, in this world, those of you that may not understand the world of model trains, you always want to feel like there's a destiny. There's a lot of make-believe. Yeah, there's a lot of pretending, but hey, it is what it is, young ladies and gentlemen. And it's a good hobby to have. And let me, as I prepare to bring this to a close, and I'll just sit in this chair full of sawdust, I talked about this particular engine. There's a story behind this. I just bought this not too long ago. That Burlington engine there. I just bought that a little over a month ago, probably about 2 months ago. Now, this road name, Burlington, is no longer in existence. It is actually merged, several mergers. Burlington Route, which actually ran through here in Chicago at one time, eventually merged with Northern Pacific and a few others and became Burlington Northern. Burlington Northern has since merged into Burlington Northern Santa Fe, which is why you have now the orange and green engine you see, like that one there, BNSF. But I bought this. It was, I got it for less than $100, which if you know anything about buying these things, that's a really good price because most of these new engines are $200 and above. No lie. They cost a lot of money. But when I bought this, when I got my first HO train, I think I was about 9 or 10, a Tyco set. I got it selling Christmas cards. I was looking through a comic book one day and saw this advertisement to sell Christmas cards, make money, get a prize. And one of the prizes was a train. Well, of course, being a lover of trains, even back then, I think I was about 8 or 9, as I recollect. I cut the coupon out, sent it in. They sent me the catalog, the samples to go about the neighborhood selling Christmas cards. It was in the summertime. And if I sold 15 boxes, if I got 15 orders, I could pick a prize. Well, they had various ones. I picked the train, 14 boxes. What I had 14 orders. I actually sold 15 orders, and I ordered the train. Now, previous to that time, to be honest with you, and again, at 9 years old, there wasn't a lot of HO trains I saw. Most of the trains I got as a kid were Lionel, American Flyer, you know. And when I first saw the box that came, and I remember it was on my birthday, in fact, that it came. It came on my birthday, the cards as well as the train. And I remember my father coming in the room because back in those days, the post office would deliver packages. And the post office came, they rang the doorbell. My father signed for the packages, came up to my room. We were going to go to school that day. As well as I didn't go to school that day for this very reason. My father walked in with 2 big boxes. He said, "Happy birthday, Scott. Here's your cards and here's your train." And I jumped out of bed. My train! I jumped out of bed. And then when I saw the size of it, the box was small and thin. I thought it was the second choice because you had 2 choices to get. You can get the train. If you didn't have that, you had a second prize to order. So I ordered the electric football games, the second prize. Well, when I saw that the box was thin, I thought that they sent me the electric football train. But when I opened it up, sure enough, there was a train. And this was the engine. Now again, not the exact type. It was a GP35. I think this one's a SD20, SD40. But it was the same paint scheme and everything like that. And that's why I like to consider this my personal heritage engine, my personal heritage unit in my history to the HO train. You know, it is just, I was so impressed with it because back then as a young boy, because every train I'd ever gotten was a steam engine. I was impressed because this was what I refer to as a modern engine. You know, it was actually a diesel engine. First time I ever got one, I was, of course, 9 years old. There wasn't a whole lot of history of me with anything. But this type of paint scheme has always been special to me for that very reason in my the HO modeling, which I've done since, again, at 8 or 9 years old. I don't know what birthday I was, 3rd grade. What is that? 9, 8? I don't know. But anyway, I would see these periodically down through the years and just never got them. But this particular time I saw that it was on sale for less than $100. I actually paid $97 for it, and I jumped on it and got it. It's now in my layout. It's going to be running pretty soon because my plan is that once I complete Clayton Yard, these mains are going to come off the main line and go into the yard, various ones, and I'm going to pull out some new trains, put together some new trains and put them on the main line and keep that cycle going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, another session of Grown Man Playing with Trains. I enjoy what I do. Talk to you next time.